And welcome back. And our second segment, or second topic, I should say, that we're getting into at this time is the upcoming Special Olympics Belize National Games. We're joined by representatives of the Special Olympics Belize Committee. We have with us Philip Marin, who is the National Director. We have Dr. Candy Armstrong, who is the Chairlady, and we have Rodvern Lino, who is the Sports Director. Good morning and welcome, and thank you for being here.
Good morning.
Now, gladly I can say I don't think we have to do too much of a background as to what Special Olympics Belize is and what they do. But I do want to take the opportunity to kind of get an update as to how things have been going in terms of being able to build the support necessary to execute the work that you do. Let's start with you, Chairlady.
Okay, good morning. Thank you very much for having, and without going into too much of a background, I would just like to say for those persons who are, for whatever reason, hearing about Special Olympics Belize for the first time, we are an organization that provides sporting opportunities for persons with intellectual disabilities. And we have programs countrywide, and so if you're in any of the district, you could get in touch with us and we would make reference to our district committees, and then you could be a part of our programs. As I said, we provide sporting competition and training for athletes persons with intellectual disabilities. Constantly, we have been, as a volunteer organization, we have been really trying to garner community support and support in terms of not only finances, but persons to volunteer to do trainings and to run the different programs that we have as a part of Special Olympics Belize. The last time we were here, I think we were promoting a fundraising event that we had, and then we came back when we were promoting our fun run that took place in April of 2016. With all the support that we got and the publicity, that was very successful, and we are hoping that this time around we would continue to increase awareness and sensitization about the importance of equal opportunity for personal development for our athletes, as these are persons with intellectual disabilities, right?
Now, there are many events, or several signature events, I should say, that are associated with Special Olympics Belize. Your torch run is definitely one, and that's in partnership with law enforcement agencies outside of Belize. The fun run is another, and also the national games. So I want to start off by just finding out the fun run, when is that going to be, and the other activities that are lined up?
Our fun run is usually held in April, the month of April. The law enforcement run, this is a run that takes place the week leading up to the national game.
That's right.
It started on Monday in Punta Gorda town. From Punta Gorda it went to Dangriga. Yesterday it moved from Dangriga to Belmopan to Benke, and today it is in Belize City. No, it arrived in Belize City yesterday evening.
Okay.
So the third run is in Belize City today. Today it will move to San Pedro, then tomorrow to Orinjo, and it will finish out at Corozal,
which is where your national games will be held. Now, the history behind the torch run is one that it's been going for a long time. It's also a fundraising activity as well. Tell us how it works in terms of coordinating with the agencies from outside of Belize and also with those locally.
Well, generally from outside of Belize, because Special Olympics Belize is registered with Special Olympics International.
Yes.
And so the coordination just comes in terms of capacity building and training and sensitization internationally. But the bulk of the work and the collaboration and the coordination takes place by our very own law enforcement officers in Belize. Right now, Inspector Eloy Carcamo is our board member, and he is the head of LETR in Belize. And so he is the one that coordinates the whole torch run. And so internally, they get the collaboration and assistance of the different law enforcement agencies. So we have the police, the BDF, immigration, custom, Coast Guard, and the fighters as a part of the law enforcement group. And so in addition to the torch run, they also do other fundraising activities for us. So throughout the year, they might do one or two things. because, and this is a very important element of our organization, because many times we struggle with that good community relation between the police and the general public, you know, in terms of their roles and responsibilities and their job and, you know, the other coordination or partnerships that they have with members of the community. But for Special Olympics, we have been having a very good relationship with them. And in addition to that, I mean, the athletes and partners, those are persons who are members of our organization that does not have a disability, intellectual disability, they get to see a different side of our law enforcement personnel. It's also very important for us because we are a volunteer organization. So we only have one paid person. All other members of our organization are volunteers. And our athletes and their families do not pay any fee or money to have access to any of the services that we provide. Some monies that are raised from a law enforcement torch room and other fundraising activities that we have, those contributes to the continuous sustainability and development of our program.
Yeah. So typically people make a pledge to support the torch run, right?
Yeah. During the run, like today or any day, they would take, they have a container out, so they would ask you to give a donation when they come out. In addition to that, the torch itself should only be held by the law enforcement individual or an athlete. So anybody else who requests to hold the torch, we ask you to give a donation. So I saw yesterday that Mayor Darrell Bradley received the torch in Belize City, so I'm expecting that whatever that check is, that,
Mayor Bradley, your pledge is due.
Yes, that we get a good do. And again, they have been supporting us too. The municipalities have been really supportive of our initiative too. And as I said, in addition to the sensitization, awareness, and the extreme effort for inclusion, they have been supporting financially, and we are very thankful for that.
And which agencies are participating in the run you had mentioned before? Is it only Belizean law enforcement that's running the torch run at this point?
Yes.
Okay. Now, it's leaving from Belize today to San Pedro. Explain that one for us.
Well, it's kind of, they're not going to run to San Pedro, but so it's like in stages.
Yes, I know.
So it ends up in Belize City today, and then they pick up at a certain point in San Pedro tomorrow.
I asked that question just so, and I know obviously you can't run to San Pedro, but just where people can go to be able to see the torch pass, to be able to offer a donation when the law enforcement agencies are on their particular path.
Well, for right now, we're asking that you just listen to, because the police have their sirens, and like in other areas they have so listen to the sirens and the songs, and then you will be aware of, know that it is happening, and be aware that the torch will be passing in a particular area.
So we expect some big support from Belize City and from San Pedro.
Yes, countrywide, whatever you know we can give, we appreciate that.
Now here's the thing, you've mentioned several times, and I think it is a fundamental point, that this is a voluntary organization that offers a free outlet to children with disabilities to participate in athletics. And I want to bring Rodvern in, because Rodvern, you've been working with these kids for a long time, and you know how important it is for them to compete. We even had our girls travel to the bocce tournament last year and do exceptionally well. So we know they are very competitive and also very talented. Let's talk about what you see in these children when they participate in Special Olympics games.
Well, we don't only offer athletics, but we offer bocce and we offer football as well.
Yeah.
But when these children are competing, it's like an event that you need to come out and witness, to see how the determination that these children have to just participate, even if they're not at the front of the line when the race is finished or something like that. The determination that they have is just something that you pay money to see.
Yeah. Now the formal structure is one where they compete by districts, which means you have district coordinators in each area, right? How you'd spoken about community support, and I know that's one of the areas that is always where you need additional volunteers. How's it been going in terms of getting people to come out, train with the kids, ensuring that they're in tip-top shape for the games? Is that an area where you still need volunteers to come on out?
Right, we still need volunteers to assist in the different districts when it comes to training our athletes. Right now, most of our training are done through the schools, through their PE sessions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We have some training going on Saturdays and in the evenings, but they're not where we want them to be.
Okay.
So we would still need some assistance in that area from our community.
And I always remember, we have it up on the screen, which is perfect, the motto for Special Olympics Belize: let me win, but if I cannot win, let me be brave in my attempt. What does that signify? I mean, it's such a powerful statement. What does it signify for what it is to have children involved and children with disabilities involved in sporting activities through Special Olympics Belize?
It's all about participation.
Yeah.
To have them go out and have fun and not expecting rewards or these things. It's just to go out, have fun and compete in the different categories or age group.
All right. So the Unified Games are coming up as well?
Yes.
What's the details for that?
This Friday, we'll be having our 13th National Special Olympics Games. It will be at the Holston Chan Stadium in Corozal Town, where we are expecting 30 athlete spanners from each district, along with 5 volunteers.
Wow.
They will be competing in 3 of our sports that we practice, Special Olympic sports, because at this moment, we involve in 5 sports, but we are only doing 3 at the games, which are archery, track and field, and football. But the other 2 sports that we participate is basketball and volleyball. But for our games, we will only concentrate on 3.
Okay. And it's called the Unified Games, right? Can you explain that? It's a mixture of children from regular school systems. It's including children with intellectual and physical disabilities.
We call it the Unified Game because Special Olympics, you have 2 categories of athletes, or two categories of participants, where we have the athletes with intellectual disability, and we also have the partners. Partners are without intellectual disability.
Okay.
And we have unified sports, for example, like bocce, you have 4 players where you have 2 with intellectual and 2 without. And also with football.
Nice.
In addition to that, what we also have been really trying to encourage, and I want to this week is also Disability Awareness Week, and so we try to focus, our national games around this time. But we also know too, the theme for this particular week focused on the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And one of them speaks to good health and well-being for everyone. And good health and well-being, we don't only want that for children, but for persons with intellectual disabilities, because Special Olympics is not only for those within the school population, but it's also for our youths and old persons. So all persons with intellectual disabilities between the ages of 8 and, 99, 98, I mean, you can be a part of our organization. And this is also an important point for us, because we notice that many times when the athletes leave the school system, when they get to those 18, 19, whatever age, they feel as if though, they're too old for Special Olympics. But even for youths and older persons, it's important for them to remain a part of the organization because of the physical benefits and the benefits to well-being that they get when they're involved in sports or physical activity. And
Rodvern, tell us about how rigorous the training is and how competitive the districts are.
Well, we normally compete by region. So it would be Central versus South versus North. But this time around, Mr. Marin, who has just joined the team, has decided let us compete by district. So now it gets even worse. because district will be competing against district. And these children have been putting in their training since they know that around this time we will be having the national games. So we have children training on their own in the mornings and stuff like that. So they know that coming the first Friday in December, we'll be having our national games, and we will have medals and awards, and they want to walk away with about 3 or 4 along their neck. So they're putting in the work.
Now, the event is on Friday, as you pointed out. Right. It's open to the public. I know you speak so much about support, and that's one time you can go out and show your support. What about having the schools come out? What is the relationship like with the other schools?
We do have that relationships, and the school do come out and support. The principals, the school setting is very supportive. So yes, we will have participation from them. Okay.
Now, just in terms of the support that people can give to Special Olympics Belize, I mean, I love going to the national games when they're in Belize City. We can't make it to Curacao, but I think being able to have that first-hand experience and seeing how these children enjoy themselves and are extremely competitive and proud of their medals is one that can really help you understand why an organization like this is so important. How can people show their support, and where do you need them to show their support?
Well, Mr. Marin will give the contact but, regarding the support, but what I'm asking right now is that, as I said, we're a volunteer organization, and we have 3 board committees. We have a fundraising committee, a public relations and communication, and we have a sports committee. And so if you would like to volunteer in any of those committees, like right now we are struggling with maintaining or updating social media things like our Facebook page and those type of things. And so if someone could come and volunteer to support in that way, it is we would really appreciate it. As I said, we struggle with fundraising, and so if someone could volunteer to serve on our fundraising committee, it depends on the level of time that you have and your commitment that you are able to do. You could volunteer with us for an event, for a subsequent event, or to be on the board. So we're looking for those level of volunteers. And of course, we're always looking for finances. So I mean, if an organization or a business would like to volunteer or to adopt an element of our program to support financially, we are also open to that.
And we have 3 classes of volunteer. You can be a Class A volunteer where you have immediate contacts with our children or adults with intellectual disability. That's, for example, like the coaches and the sports coordinators. Those are referred to as Class A volunteer. We also have the Class B volunteer, where example, those are the officials. And we also have the Class C volunteer, where are people that volunteer for a one-day event. For example, the national coming up. So we'll have a lot of Class C volunteer. And for you to be a volunteer, all you need to do is to fill out the Special Olympics Belize volunteer registration form.
Okay, all right.
You can reach us by telephone number 671-5641 or by email specialolympicsbelize.com, gmail.com.
Okay. And look out for the torch run. Can we do the route one more time, what people can expect so they can look out for them? Today it's from Belize to San Pedro.
Yes, and today the torch run, at this moment, it is at the Memorial Park because they're having a ceremony day for Disability Week. And it will leave to San Pedro today. I don't know what time, but it will be in San Pedro today. Then tomorrow in Orinjo, and it will finish up in Curacao on Friday. Just to add, we also have our main attraction at our game. We have an exhibition wheelchair basketball game with Chetamal, the Special Olympics from Chetamal.
Fantastic.
They will be doing an exhibition game for us.
So we have a team trained?
No, it's amongst themselves.
Oh, it's amongst themselves.
Maybe in the future we'll work on that.
That's a great place for us to be able to go to, but then you need a proper facility for it as well. So, and the torch run will arrive, of course, in the final destination, which is Curacao, where your unified games. This is the Special Olympics, so it is a big deal for all of those involved, and the kids have been training. So, what can you tell people in terms of why they should come out and show some support? Who wants to take that?
Well, I think it's time. For a while now, in several circles, we have been talking about, inclusion and about the rights of individuals or persons with disabilities as having the equal rights of, any other person. And so I think the picture is that be touched by this movement and join it by being out there and actually seeing the athletes and the partners, in action. I think when you go out there and you look at the support, because we do also have a very good relationship with the medical practitioners in Belize, because they do screenings out there, and the dentists and the Belize Lions. When you go out there and you see the families and you see the facial expression and the gestures, I mean, when the athletes are brave in their attempt, even if they do not win, I mean, it's a life-changing experience. So be a part of this movement and observe how just one activity, one smile, one other thing could be life-changing for one of our fellow other Belizeans.
Absolutely. I got to tell you, last year at the National Games, one of the best moments I had was a penalty shootout between Belize and Corozal. And let me tell you, that was a very serious time in the games, because and there was so much pressure on the kids. I felt terrible for them because the entire team and groups were there. So it is a great competition that they're allowed to participate in, and it's only done through the support of your partners. So you have final points, Philip, that you wanted to touch on?
I want to say thanks for having us here.
Yes.
I want to give thanks to our sponsors, Ministry of Education, Sports, Youth and Culture, Grace Kennedy Limited, Simon Wang and Lupita Wang, BL, Corozal Town Council, UNICEF, Belize Tourism Board, National Sports Council, NARCE coordinators throughout the country, and Special Olympic District Committee throughout the country. Come out and support our event this Friday. We start at 8:30 with the registration process, at 9 the commencement of the opening ceremony, and at 9:30 the games.
Okay, don't miss it. Thank you so much for being here, and we hope that people contact you to be able to show their support, or at least come out for the games as well. Remember the motto for Special Olympics Belize: let me win, but if I cannot win, let me be brave in my attempt. Torch Run continues today to San Pedro, then Orange Walk tomorrow, Friday in Corozal, and on Corozal, be sure to check out the Special Olympics Belize Unified Games. We're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll be talking to representatives of the Girl Guides about a special initiative they're having to be able to raise funds for the Mercy Care Burn Fund. So stay tuned.